Hello YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do another eye tutorial. And I'm really excited about this one because it's going to be almost a colorful smoky eyeshadow, but we're going to add in some shimmers. It's going to be beautiful. Now, here is the quad that we're going to be using today. The shades that I have in here are Optimistic, Ambiguous, Nimble, and Marvelous. Now, if you watched my previous YouTube tutorial, you're going to notice that this palette is only one shadow different. We took out Antsy and we added in Ambiguous, and this is going to change up the entire look of it. But I kind of wanted to show you the different versatility that you can get from using similar shadows, but just changing out one little thing. So we're going to jump right in, and first things first, we're going to use my eye primer. If you guys have hooded eyes, if you have oily eyelids, whatever it is, and even if you want really great pigment payoff, you're going to want to use an eye primer. It is such a necessity. Now, I know we've discussed this before and I've told you guys about it. I have really hooded eyes, okay? I've always had hooded eyes, and for me to get shadows to show up or to stay in place and not transfer, eye primer has become a necessity. Like, it changed my makeup game, literally, okay? It made such a difference. So first things first, we're going to go in with the shade, Optimistic, not opportunistic. That's a lipstick. We're going to go in with Optimistic. This guy right here. This is a really light ivory metallic, and we're just going to sweep this as our transition shade right in here, and we're going to put it on the inner corner of the eye. I'm using only our fluffy crease brush today. So I'm going to show you, you don't need a lot of tools. You don't need all of these special fancy things in order to get a really great look. You really don't. All right, this is just going to prove my point even more. So we're going to go along the other side. Now, one thing that I really love about this look is that this is going to be a really great transition into spring. So if you're looking for those springtime looks, I mean, here I'm in Chicago, you guys, I am waiting for spring to rear its beautiful head. All right, so I'm going to take that same fluffy crease brush. I just kind of wiped it a little bit around on my towel, and I'm going to buff out the edge here. So we're going to take this and we're just going to go in. You can do back and forth, you can do circular motions, but I really want to just blend out the edge of Optimistic. There we go. So that's all applied. We're ready to go. Next is we're going to go into Ambiguous. This guy right here. Now this is a purple shimmer. One of the things that I love about these shadows is that you can actually use these wet or dry. Doesn't matter at all. And we're just going to pop Ambiguous right into the outer corner and onto the lid. Now, I'm applying these dry today to give a little bit of a softer look. You can absolutely apply them wet to get some real bang for your buck. And I mean, these things show up. It is almost like molten metal gets poured onto your eye. It's so beautiful. But we're going to go with a nice soft look today. So, and for my hooded eye girls, what I'm doing is I'm bringing the shadow up even higher so that when my eye is open, you can still see the color. So we're adding this all onto the lid, and I'll show you here in just a second. Okay, do you see that when my eye is open, you can actually still see some of that purple there? That's what we want. We want our eyeshadow to be seen. We want it to show because, I mean, we're putting in all this effort into applying it. You want to see it, right? So here we go. We're going to do the other side, apply, and I like building up with my shadows. I don't want it to be this huge just explosion of pigment. Sometimes that is a really great thing to have, but there are other times where I'm like, I want to make sure that I'm getting my eyeshadow exactly where I want it and to the degree that I want it to show. Does that make sense? I mean, in my own head it does. So I hope it does for you guys. So we're adding in this purple, and these are blending so beautifully. So here, I'll show you in just a second. And again, I brought the shadow up above my crease line so that you could still see it. This is so important for hooded eyes. So, so, so important. Next, we're gonna go in with Nimble. This guy right here. Nimble is a beautiful kind of light chocolate. And this is actually a satin shadow. So this has just a little bit of reflect to it. It's not quite matte, but it's definitely not a shimmer. And we're just adding this into the outer corner. There we go. Sorry. Brushes shed, guys. It's normal. It happens. They just do. And I'm raising my lid so that I can kind of get to this outer corner too. Here we go. We're going to go in with Nimble on the other side. Now, this is kind of acting as a transition shade as well, and we're blending it into ambiguous and not opportunistic, you guys. It's a tongue twister. It's optimistic. All right, so we're just doing this on the outer corner. Now, all I'm doing is I'm taking my brush and I'm swirling on the towel that I have in front of me so that I can get most of the eyeshadow removed from the brush, and I can go back in and blend where I need to. Okay, so that's all I'm doing. And we're blending, making sure it's all set. Now we're gonna go into Marvelous. If you remember from yesterday, Marvelous is this beautiful dark chocolate brown, and we're only gonna use a little bit of it. We're gonna use it in the very outer corner to add a little bit of depth. So we're just gonna add this right into the outer corner. And I like to bring it up a little bit to emphasize that crease because, like I said, your girl has got hooded eyes. And we need to create some definition. So that's what this is really going to help do. This is more so to create a little bit of shadow, to create a little bit of depth. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Now, one of the things that I really love about applying this over a shadow is that you're really deepening the color of the shadow that's underneath. You're helping give a little bit of depth to it. So we have ambiguous underneath, and by adding this really beautiful dark chocolate brown, we're increasing the depth. We're actually changing the perception of it, changing the shadow a little bit, and giving a little bit more dimension to the overall look. Now, I am going to go in with our liner shader brush. I know I said we were only using the fluffy crease brush, but I changed my mind. So we're going to use the liner shader brush. So this is the shader side, and this is the liner side. And we're going to use the liner portion of this. And I'm going to go in with a little bit of ambiguous, that beautiful purple. We're going to use that right at the lash line. Now, I know it doesn't look like a whole lot, but hang on a second. This is going to pull the whole look together. I promise. I'm all about that balance. I believe that putting a little bit of shadow on the lower lash line helps really give a beautiful balance to your overall eye look. So this is a step that I always, always, always recommend. Here we go. And then I'm actually going to go in with just a little bit of Nimble, which is that kind of light to medium brown that we used. And I'm just going to buff that right with ambiguous. There we go. All right, there we go, guys. So what do you think? Super easy, right? Only 4 shadows and 2 brushes. That's it. That's how simple it is to create a really, really great, impactful eye. Now, we're not done because we got to add in some mascara. So we're going to go really quickly with my absolute favorite. This is our 4D Fiber Lash Mascara. Now, you guys saw me use our regular Epic mascara the other day. This actually has an integrated fiber formula. So there are already fibers in this formula. You don't have to do an extra step to add any on, but what those interlocking fibers are going to do is they're going to grab onto each other at the ends of your lashes, and they're going to help give the appearance of longer, fuller, thicker, more luscious lashes. And the trick with applying mascara is always wiggle and roll. There's always a wiggle and roll that you want to do because that helps separate your lashes. It helps give them dimension. So you don't want, spider legs on your eyes. You don't want clumpy lashes. So when you do that wiggle and roll, you're actually creating separation. You're creating definition. And that's what we're always after, okay? So look at this. I'm going to show you really quickly. You ready? So these are my bare lashes, and this is only one coat of our 4D Fiber Lash Mascara. It's pretty amazing. Pretty flipping amazing. Now, I don't know about you, but I always usually do like 2 coats of mascara. So we're going to let this dry for a hot second. I'll be right back to show you the finished look. And we're back. This is the finished look, everybody. So we used Optimistic, Ambiguous, Nimble, and Marvelous in a shadow quad to create this look. I also have our 4D Fiber Lash Mascara on with lashes defined and sky high, obviously. Now, I also did come through and add in our Splash Liquid Lipstick in the shade Stellar. This is a really great medium nude shade. It's perfect for all skin tones. These are a really great formula because they're hydrating matte liquid lipstick. So they're not gonna suck your lips dry. They're actually gonna leave them nice and moisturized, and it's super long wearing. If you have any questions or you wanna know where I got all these products, I'm gonna leave a link in the description below, and I will be talking to you guys all soon. Have a great day. Oh, don't forget, subscribe and click on that notification bell so you guys get notified every time I upload a video. So thank you so much for joining me, everybody. I'll be talking to you soon. Mwah! Bye, guys.